Donald Trump shocked his most loyal supporters, not by fighting the system, but by backing down. First, he flipped on his promise to release the Epstein files. Then he pointed fingers at America's biggest banks, accusing them of targeting MAGA supporters. But is this a bold stand or a desperate distraction? Today, we reveal how Trump's MAGA base is fracturing and why his war with JPMorgan might be his boldest gamble yet. MAGA supporters turn on Trump across X. Pro-Trump influencers are fuming. Conservative activist C.J. Pearson tweeted, "A total betrayal of what MAGA stands for." Libs off TikTok added just one word to Trump's Epstein quote, swamp. Even accounts like it Amuse have expressed disbelief. Hashtags like #Trump betrayed us and #Epstein's list now are trending. Some are asking, what happened to fighting the swamp? Why is he protecting elites now? Recent polling reveals the fallout. A Reuters-cited Rasmussen survey released on August 6, 2025, found that roughly 26% of Trump's core supporters felt betrayed or disappointed by his reversal on Epstein files. Conservative podcaster Elijah Schaffer declared, "This is a wake-up call. You can't build a brand on draining the swamp and then protect the very institutions that created it." On Trump-loyal Telegram groups, headlines like, "Trump is protecting Epstein's elite friends," racked up massive views. One viral comment read, "We were promised justice. Now it feels like just another politician's lie." The cracks are real and widening. Trump's Epstein promise now broken. Let's rewind. In 2023 and again in 2024, Trump vowed loudly.
Mr. Trump says, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. He goes on to say this scam, perpetuated by the Democrats, should end right now.
In July 2025, a DOJ-FBI memo concluded there is no Epstein client list, no actionable evidence of blackmail, and affirmed Epstein died by suicide, contradicting MAGA expectations. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who once said the list was sitting on my desk,
I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
In May, Bondi informed Trump privately that his name appeared in Epstein's files alongside dozens of other high-profile figures.
Journalists published a report about Trump and his links with Epstein. It says Trump was informed last May his name appeared several times in investigation documents of Epstein. NPR has not confirmed this reporting, and the reported appearance of Trump's name in any of these documents is not an indication of wrongdoing.
While the administration initially called it fake news, officials later confirmed Trump's inclusion in briefing materials. Critics like Alan Dershowitz demanded full disclosure. Either Trump releases the list or he joins the long line of cowards protecting pedophiles. And conservative lawyer Mike Davis called it the same. One influencer tweeted, he said no more games. Now he's playing the same DC game he once mocked. Meanwhile, Ghislaine Maxwell, after a 9-hour interview with Trump's former attorney turned Deputy AG Todd Blanche, denied ever witnessing inappropriate behavior by Trump, raising suspicions she may be cooperating to avoid harsher punishment. The DOJ has acknowledged the interview and is considering releasing transcripts. Maxwell was also moved to a lower security Texas facility. JPMorgan, BOA, and the debanking war. With Epstein's exposure darkening his base, Trump pivoted hard. In an August 5, 2025 interview with CNBC.
Well, they did discriminate. I had JPMorgan Chase. I had hundreds of millions of dollars in cash. I could see if they want to, if they want to do something bad because you don't have any money and you're defaulted and they took people out. But I'll give you me as an example. I had hundreds of millions. I had many.
Bank of America flatly refused his business, even after his term ended.
And they told me, I'm sorry, sir, we can't have you. You have 20 days to get out. I said, you gotta be kidding.
He painted both as discriminating against conservatives. In a draft executive order reviewed by Reuters and charging regulators to investigate politicized or unlawful debanking, consequences like penalties and consent decrees are on the table. Trump framed it as a fight to end financial cancel culture. Pro-Trump figures rallied behind him. Rapper Forgiato Blow claimed his Chase business account was suspended after anti-Biden content. Senator J.D. Vance warned, this is the social credit system coming to America, and Trump is the only one calling it out. The campaign said it had compiled over 45 incident reports, mostly from small businesses citing account freezes or denials. What the banks are saying. JPMorgan issued a quick denial. We don't close accounts for political reasons. Regulatory change is desperately needed. Bank of America echoed that they follow standard policy, no politics.
Trump said he then tried to deposit funds with Bank of America and was also refused. JPMorgan in a statement said it doesn't close accounts for political reasons and looked forward to working with the White House to get this right. Bank of America did not address Trump's specific claims, but welcomed efforts from the administration to clarify policies.
Legal experts are divided. The ACLU tweeted, "Financial freedom shouldn't be a partisan issue, but executive overreach isn't the solution either." Senator Rand Paul echoed, "We don't want banks acting like censors, but we also don't want presidents micromanaging private companies." The Libertarian Party labeled Trump's order a Trojan horse for government control disguised as freedom. Analysts warn that the reputational risk framework previously used under Biden, but recently curtailed, gave banks flexibility to refuse clients. Now, Trump threatens to upend that system. Meanwhile, stocks for JPMorgan and Bank of America dipped after his remarks, adding to pressure and prompting regulators to consider new rules around politicized account closures. Is Trump just distracting from Epstein? Some MAGA influencers aren't buying the pivot. An anonymous account reposted by @DCDrano called it classic bait and switch. Epstein backlash was brutal. Now he's playing the war on banks card to distract.
Now, finally, it's been revealed and reported that two of the largest banks kicked Donald Trump and his money out following pressure from the Biden administration's banking regulators after the January 6 riots. So the New York Post reports that JPMorgan and Bank of America debanked President Trump. Trump says that he thinks banks discriminate against many conservatives, and the White House is preparing an executive order that'll instruct regulators to review banks for politicized or unlawful debanking practices.
Media figures like Megyn Kelly chimed in.
Trump's problem is not that he lies. Trump's problem is that he tells the truth. And he just doesn't really care. He doesn't have a filter. I really think it's the function of a man who really doesn't have anything to hide on this front, at least. There's a reason he's not producing those Epstein files. My own suspicion is there's probably a lot of rich Republican donors and or friends of his who are in there who...
Axios obtained a leaked campaign memo dated August 4th, advising staff to steer clear of Epstein-related narratives and amplify bank censorship concerns. The memo bluntly described Epstein as media bait. Conservative insiders like Rogan O'Handley at DCDrano warned, if this is true, it confirms everything we feared. Trump is running scared. Whether Trump's war on the banks is genuine or a carefully crafted distraction from Epstein, the fractures within MAGA are undeniable. The movement that once hailed him as fearless is questioning his loyalty. Some loyalists double down citing deep state infiltration. Others are jumping ship. One supporter posted on Truth Social, "I supported Trump since 2015, but now I'm reconsidering everything. Trump's approval among very conservative voters is tumbling. Will he course correct, or has the era of unquestioning loyalty finally ended?" Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.